Welcome to the Mesonet Weather Report. I'm Wes Lee. The impacts of the back-to-back La Nina winters has left most of us wanting for more rainfall. If you must experience a drought, I guess the best time for it would be the winter months. In those months, rain is normally short anyway and plant water needs are lower. But with spring green up, plant water demand is climbing and more substantial rainfall is needed. Historically, May is the wettest time of year in Oklahoma if you look at the statewide average as seen here on this 15-year graph. This is not the case, though, when you look at different regions of the state. In the southeast region, rain tends to peak earlier in the year as shown by the purple spikes on this graph. And of course, the peaks all year long are higher as they tend to be the wettest region of the state. Moving to the center of the state, the rainfall peak times in orange match almost perfectly with the statewide averages. Moving all the way to the Panhandle climate region, the peak months shift to later in the summer and, as expected, are way below the normal statewide totals. The wettest months are quickly approaching. Hopefully, rainfall will increase and we can make up for some lost ground. Gary is up next with a look at some of those rain maps.
Thanks, Wes, and good morning, everyone. Well, I hope everybody that needed rain got a bit at least, and I hope those that didn't need as much rain sent it down the stream to somebody that did need it. Now, we are still in a pretty serious drought situation. Let's get straight to that drought monitor map and see where we're at. Of course, this is the drought monitor map before we take into account this weekend's rainfall, so this could change next week, but at least prior to that rain, we still had much of the western half of the state covered by severe to extreme to exceptional drought. That's the D2, D3, D4 drought. A little bit of moderate drought as we transition to a lack of drought over in far eastern Oklahoma. And then, of course, we have that little bit of extreme drought, that red, down in far south central Oklahoma. So we're improving slowly but surely from east to west. Wanted to give a snapshot of where we were before this weekend's rainfall. Really, when we look at the consecutive days with less than a tenth of an inch of rainfall on any single day, we have to look out to the western panhandle for the really bad statistic, and that's Boise City at 191 days without a single day with at least a tenth of an inch of rainfall. So obviously really hurting out across the far western panhandle. And then Kenton says, hold my drink, literally. When we go up to the consecutive days with less than a quarter inch of rainfall, they up their ante to 235 straight days. So we still have that 191 to 200 out there in the other parts of the panhandle. But the far western panhandle at Kenton, really hurting. So just add an extra adjective to each one of those, and they're hurting just as much worse. And of course, across the main body of the state, still some areas that we're getting up to nearly a month. Some of those numbers will change, of course. The rainfall we get this weekend, that might be what we are left with for a little while, even though it is spring. We look out at the 8 to 14-day precipitation outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. This is for the April 27th through May 3rd period, and unfortunately we see increased odds of below normal precipitation really across much of the central part of the United States over into the far southwestern part of the United States, including Oklahoma. So hopefully this weekend storm system is a good sign for the rest of spring. We don't have to have something immediate, but we would like to get something in here pretty quick after this one to bolster those drought eliminating efforts. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.